Okay, I'm going to be showing y'all how you place stories and how you make sure your spacing is correct and placing pictures and attributions and all that good stuff. So right here, this is InDesign, which is the program we use to pretty much create the pages. This is an old sports page from one of the last issues of last semester. We're going to show you how to place a story about this size. We use Google Docs to type our stories and then save them in a shared folder so everyone can see them. So when you sign in to your Google Docs, you're going to copy and paste. So go ahead and copy your story that you're using and then paste it where you want it, and then sometimes it shows up in a random spot, so you just need to drag it over to where you want it to begin and fit it like this, and then use the little red cross, then drag that up and the story will keep going. And it looks weird right now, but you just have to fix the spacing and the font and everything. Just keep dragging it until you're in your last column, and then we use the font Droid Serif and the size is 10, so you're going to want to highlight everything. Change this at the top to 10. Change that to Droid Serif. And for the body of the story, hold on, highlight the whole story, and then it's this one, justify all lines. Alright, and as we have kind of weird spacing right here, just put your mouse, where there's a big gap, and then just keep going back. Then you can tab it. Sometimes the tabs are too big.
Tab it and then you can fix it.
Yeah, just fix it as you go. But hold on, I'm just gonna get the spaces.
You're tabbing it now, though.
Get rid of the spaces. Yeah, just go ahead and tab it. Let's see. Okay, we need some breaks over here because you never want to have a whole column that goes without a break. Okay. And we'll always want to indent the first sentence of every story. Let's see where would be a good spot to put one. Such a long sentence. Let's see. Okay. And now go ahead and tab that. Alright, and now that you have all your spaces tabbed, or most of them, just make sure you don't have a column that goes too long without having breaks in the paragraphs. You're going to want to fix your tracking, and that can be fixed. You always want to go to type and then character, and the little AV right here with the arrows under it is where you fix your tracking, and you want to try to keep it between -25 and 25 range. If your story is a little too short like this one, you want to go above the 0, so like 25 would be too long, or would be too big, so we would try 10.
Is that the end?
10 is perfect. So that would be what you would use if your story is a little bit too short, and if your story is a little bit too long, we try not to go any lower than -25. So just keep your tracking in that range if you can. And to make sure you have the right spacing between things, you want to have a pica, which is a unit of measurement in journalism when you're creating the pages. And right here, this little space between the columns is a pica. So you just want to judge, when you have your byline under your title, you want to make sure there's a pica between the byline and the story, and the headline and the byline. You can just judge it pretty much by looking at it, but it helps to have the grid on. And this is where you turn the grid on and off down here, and that turns it off so you would see what it would look like without the grid. And then turning the button to the left will turn the grid on. And then let's see, to place photos, you would click on the box that where your photo would go, and then File, Place, and then just pick a picture, usually out of the Dropbox. I'm not sure what. Let's see, what do we have in here that we can place?
You can go to everything and then just like put that picture.
Okay. Alright, I'm not sure what. Okay, it's not there, so.
Perfect.
We're just going to put a prom picture and pretend like this is a story about prom. So you're going to want to do File, Place, and then usually the pictures will be in your Sections folder in Dropbox. But this is just a random picture, so just keep that in mind. And then Open. And you want to fit it so the content is in there and you can see it, like get the full picture. So you want to go to Object, and then let's see.
Fitting.
And you have to play around with this. Fit content and then fill frame proportionally are two of the ones that you would usually use, but that one didn't work. So you just want to keep playing around with it. And that's probably what you would use for that.
And then go.
Okay, yeah. And then that would be how you'd place a picture, and you just do that for any, size box that you have. It doesn't really matter. You just got to play around with it, and if you want to get like a different angle, you could use the white and move it around. Let's see. Let me move that back over. Okay. And again, with the pica, you want to have enough space between the byline and the picture, and then the picture and the story. And we're trying not to use as many contributed photos as we have in the past, but you see where the little attribution goes on the picture. And you would just make a box for that, and that would go on the picture. And in sports, that's where the attribution goes, as you can see on this page. And let's see. This year we'll have, in the past we've had just the back page for sports, but since we'll have more pages this year, we're going to have, I guess, let's see, two or three for sports. And I'm not sure if this will be done the same way, but like usually the editorial has had like the byline beside the picture, so I'm not sure if that'll change this year. But
And then other things, this page is different because it has this graphic at the top, but most pages are going to have the issue number and the date on the top of the page, and you need to always make sure that you update the date for each new issue that comes out.
And to do that, there's usually like as she said, there would be a box and space for all that, and you would just click it like you'd edit any other thing on the page and then change it.
Okay. And then one last thing is, this is something for when you're putting in a cutout, and you'll probably use this a lot more in features. We're going to use this cat again, and hold on. Gotta get rid of this blob. Okay, so we'll save the cat. And then over here we're going to want to make a box using the box over here on the left that has the X in it, and just draw it where you want to put it. And then you're going to go File, Place, and then find your picture. Here's the cat. And then I want to fit it however. Let's try to make that just a little bigger. You gotta play around with fitting pictures. There we go. Okay. So then what you want to do, if you're going to put this cutout in the middle of the story and you need to do text wrap, you're first going to go clipping path, options, and then you're going to go into detect edges. And you want to get a preview of it so you know how it's going to look, and it has these orange dots all around the cat. And then if you need to make it, you know, more detailed or like find the edges better, you'd move that up, and then if you need it to be less, move it down, and then there, perfect. And then okay, and then you're gonna come over to, you come, I have it out. I'm trying to find. Okay, whatever. Text wrap, it's right here. If you can't find it up here, just go to help and just search for text wrap, whatever. And then you want to click. There. Okay, you want to click this one right here in the middle, and then you want to bump that up to 0.125, and then you're just going to move it around and get it where it looks good. And that's how you place a cutout. One last thing to add is that, what happened there? You never want to have any of your paragraphs on hyphenate, which is down here. Never click that. We don't like hyphenate. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's